Alright, man, so let me make sure this is on. So, like, alright, Lord willing, y'all can hear me. Should be straight, but shalom, shalom. We want to start the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Korash. Double blessings and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Back here with another lesson through the spirit, man. Just gonna be just spinning things off of my head, man. Really just thoughts. Right now I'm in transit, of course, as you all know. I've been trying to do more lessons like this, just because I be having a lot of stuff going on in my day now, and I really don't be knowing if I'm gonna have a chance to make a lesson or not. So I try and use the time, the small time that I have, the best I can in order to make a lesson. So that's why I've been doing more lessons in transit and whatnot, really. So yeah, man. As you all know, I haven't really looked into the news today. I do know that they passed this act, I want to say last week sometime, called the Genius Act. I just heard of today. And I think that's more so going into basically the digital world and whatnot. The digital world that we're coming into, man. A lot of the things that have been going on the past 5 years, and even beyond that, really, has been in preparation for the way that society is about to transform into, right? Everything, of course, has been going digital, and everything has been digital for a while now. But we're seeing another level when it comes to this digital way of life, so to speak, right? So I know for sure that I wasn't able to look into the article, but I know for sure that it was going into like CBDC, which we know about that. If you're unaware what CBDC is, maybe you've been living under a rock. I don't know. That's been a thing that's been known now for years. But CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And like I said, the things that have been going on these past 5 years and even beyond then have been in preparation for the world and the way that it's going now, right? So that central bank digital currency is a way to have everyone in a one world government, a one world currency, right? That's why these BRIC nations did away with the dollar, the de-dollarization that's been going on for the past, 2-3 years now, since at least 2022 or 2023, I want to say. So that's a way of preparing for this digital world that we're coming into, man. Like I said, we've already been going into the digital world, right? Yeah, we've already been going into the digital world, but now we're coming into a time where everything is digital, right? So, like I said, de-dollarization. They're gonna. Something has to happen to where the dollar is gonna be completely ditched. Now, what that is, right now I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I'm telling you this though: there is something that's going to make the dollar collapse. The dollar has been losing its value for years now. Like I said, that de-dollarization was part of it. Another part of it, we've been in inflation for the past 5 years now, and even beyond then. So that doesn't help the fact that the dollar is not backed by anything at all, right? Which I believe that came through one of those former presidents, maybe Andrew Jackson or Andrew Johnson, one of those guys. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. If you all know, in the comments, please correct me. But that happened when the U.S. stopped, when they started printing money and they stopped using gold and silver and whatnot as currency. That was when basically the dollar lost its value, or that's when money really lost its value, currency. Or Salakia, it wasn't Andrew Johnson or Andrew Jackson. One president, I can't remember, he stopped using silver and gold as a means of currency, and they just started printing paper money, which paper has no value to begin with, right? Gold and silver actually hold value because those are precious metals and materials. They come from the earth. But there was one president, because I know that they were still making like coins and whatnot out of silver, but I don't remember which president that was. That was like around like the 40s or 50s. One of those presidents did that though. But ever since then, the dollar hasn't been backed by anything. It's not backed by gold or silver or anything that holds value, right? Like I say, every time there's like a shift in the world, or something is going on that's heavy in the world, the price of gold and silver goes up, right? And that's not a coincidence. Whenever things seem like they're about to go down or stuff is about to hit the fan, the price of gold and silver jumps up, right? The price of gold right now for an ounce is like well over $3,000, which is insane. Well, I'm not gonna say, yeah, it is insane, man. It keeps climbing, but that's a good thing that it's doing that, because we know that we in the latter days. But stuff like that, man, de-dollarization, these BRIC nations have not been, the dollar isn't even, the US dollar isn't even, it's not recognized as the world trading currency anymore, like how it used to be. But that's one thing that's been going on, you know. We have these 15-minute cities. Well, let me backtrack. Digital ID, right? They're trying to get everybody to do real ID, which is a precursor to digital ID. That's what that's going to lead into. These real IDs, you have to have certain identification to get them. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'd already gotten it before. I got it years before. I got this like this is like 3 years ago I got my real ID. So I can't remember exactly. I know you got to have like a passport or something like that and some other stuff. But everybody has to get a real ID now as of May 7, 2025 in order to fly or go on flights. So that's one thing. And they've already brought digital ID, digital currency to these other countries, right? Those things are already happening in other countries. You have a point system that's already been implemented in Australia. I've been talking about that for months now, right? They have a point system. Over in, I want to say the brother said Sweden. Yeah, I believe the brother said Sweden. They already chipping people. They already implementing that into their society. So the fact that you think that that's not going to come over to America, when you tell people all of these things are going on in other countries, you don't think it's going to come to America, right? I always use the example of in the book of Genesis with Joseph, when he was over there and he was basically king of Egypt under the pharaohs. The pharaoh told him that he had a dream, and Joseph was able to interpret it through Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, through the Spirit. And he told the king that you have, this dream means 7 years of plentifulness, right? Prosperity, and then 7 years of famine. And if you all are aware with that story, man, there was already famine throughout the land. It just hadn't hit Egypt yet. It was spreading though. The famine was spreading, I believe, from like Jerusalem. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it was in Canaan. Yeah, because that's where Jacob and his sons were dwelling at the time. They were in Canaan, I believe. But yeah, man, the famine was spreading. You don't think that plagues that the Lord is sending upon the earth, the plagues that the Lord is sending upon the earth are sent, right? And it says in the, I believe it's either in the book of 2nd Ezra 15 or 2nd Ezra 16, the plagues are sent, and who may return them, right? Who's going to send them back? It might be 2nd Ezra 16.